Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kettle Kitchen. We're rounding up the Thursday night Homestead Hangout. Let's get started.
Down in Louisiana, where the tall pine trees grow, there live a preacher daughter and she knows how to jelly roll. And a papa wants to save my soul, but a sweet talking daughter, Lord, she loves to jelly roll. Yes, she do.
Well, hello, everybody, and we're rounding out the night for the Thursday night Homestead Hangout. I'm glad you're all here. I got a great guest on tonight. Can't wait to bring her up, but I want to make sure I tell everybody hello. Thank you for coming in and welcome. So real quick, I'm going to run through my list, and then we'll get into our guest and our interview. So we have Dark Lord Minute, Rena LaRue. Happy birthday, my friend. We have Teresa Jukiewicz, One Day at a Time Farmstead. Gene, thank you. I'm assuming it's Gene. Thank you for coming in. Annette, our Urban Homestead. Suburban Hillbilly. Nana 9 Acres. We have, looks like that's it. Everybody else I've said hello to. So others will come in as we get going. But I want to bring our guest in. Is my guest ready? All right, here we go. And so let's say welcome to Jeni from Jeni's Scratch Made Kitchen.
Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Excellent. Yourself?
Doing good. Doing good. I've been looking forward to this interview. I see Deb R has joined us, and Rhonda Mimi's Dishes. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for coming in. So, a little bit quick about Jeni, or at least what I can tell you, that you can obtain the same information as I do. It's on her page, which is Jeni's Scratch Made Kitchen. All the information for her channel is listed down below in the description box. Please, if you get a chance, go check her out. She's a great channel. I consider her a close friend of mine and of the channels. And she is definitely one of the channels out there, which if you watch Sunday Functioning Chat over this last weekend, Jeni was on with us and Michelle from Big Valley Living. And together we support the theory that small channels help the big channels as well as we help each other. And so Jeni has demonstrated that theory very many times to me. And for that, I've always been appreciative of that. So thank you. Jeni happens to have, as of just about 10 minutes ago, says you have 29,000 subscribers. You have 894 videos. And I checked your views. You have 2.2 million views, at least what's listing on your page. That's astounding.
I'm plugging along, I tell you.
It is a struggle, isn't it? I don't care how big you are. It's a struggle.
It is, and it's a lot of work.
Yes, yes.
And when things do not cooperate,
yeah, you know,
web pages.
Yeah. The computer never wants to work, or the internet, or something's fuzzy, or you drop your phone inside your soup you're making, or whatever it is.
I've not done that one. Have you?
I haven't either. I've dropped it in the sink, but I haven't dropped it in my soup. So I was sitting there talking to somebody one day, and I was doing the dishes and blah, 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 blah. And I hit the counter. My phone went bloop right in the water. And I don't think I've ever moved so fast in my life.
My husband dropped his in his glass of beef.
Yay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. Again, thank you, everybody that's coming in. I see Maura showing up. Stephanie has showed up. Nanny Tam has showed up. Thank you guys for coming in. So my very first question for you is, why did you pick your channel name? Now, I've known you long enough to at least know that there's been one channel name change. I don't know if there was others.
Nope.
But why did you pick your channel name?
Because I was growing really slowly, and so many of my subscribers were like, "Why don't you have more subscribers?" And I don't know. And then a subscriber pops up and says, "Jeni, I think that you should change the name of your channel. I think your name is holding you back." And she said, put a little bit more explanation into like, what are you about? So I put kitchen in there. And because most of the things I make are completely from scratch, I decided to add that in. Man,
Was that a hard location of locating the name you wanted? Was that harder? Did it kind of come easy to you?
No, it was harder. I think I actually put up about like 5 names on my channel and said, which one's the best to subscribers?
I think I remember seeing that. I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I picked the one that more people liked.
Okay. So I did check, and this goes into the next question. I did look, and it says on your page that you started 2018. Mm-hmm. And the next question is when did you start your channel? But it's a question I inevitably always ask everybody. In 2018, when you started this channel, was it starting it as a content creator, or did you come in as an individual and then slowly merge over into content creation?
No, I started as a content creator. I actually never even watched YouTube before I started my channel.
Mm-hmm.
So,
really?
Yeah.
Not even to DIY something or nothing?
Nope, never watched it. And then somebody at work in my office was watching YouTube a lot, and they're like, "Oh, these YouTube videos." I'm like, what is it about this YouTube? So checked it out, and I was like, "Oh, I can do better than that." Because I'm not one of those. I guess in my mind, and I'm not like everybody else, but I never take the easy route. You've seen all my cooking videos.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely will I use a pre-made item because I'm not that kind of person.
Right.
And then when I'm watching videos, I'm like, oh, that would be good, but how can I make it more difficult on myself? I don't know.
Right. Give it time, you'll figure it out, right?
Right. So when I had little kids and I was at home, I thought, oh gosh, I'm not buying Pillsbury or
right.
Oh, what is that box mix? Pancake mix.
Pancake.
The the
Crusties
you can use for everything.
or
no, it's not just pancakes. It's for everything you make. Biscuits.
Yes.
Bisquick.
Bisquick.
Yeah. So when I was a young mom, I was like, man, that crap is expensive. Only rich people can afford Bisquick. So I have always had the mindset.
That's not the reason it started either. It was for poor people.
I know. And in my mindset, pre-made items are for people that have money and can afford that stuff.
Yes.
So I just never did. And I always made it from scratch. And then when I was like 26, and I had my kids early, mind you, very early. So when I was like 26, all of a sudden I was grocery shopping. I was like, you can buy refrigerated pie crust? I did not know that. So I bought one and I made a pie. My daughter I don't know how old she was, but she's sitting there eating the pie and she looks at me and she goes, Mom, what did you do to your pie? And I go, what do you mean? And she goes, this is not your pie. What happened to it? And I was like, oh, I found a pre-made pie crust. And she goes, never do this again.
Right.
My kids always know the difference. And so I just stopped doing that. If I would make an instant potato, my son would keel over. He thinks he will not eat an instant potato.
My 11-year-old and my 14-year-old, if it's not boxed mashed potatoes. Now, they do like homemade mashed potatoes, don't get me wrong. But I add pepper and salt and things to it that they don't like. They like the packaged mashed potatoes. And
no, mine won't. Yeah. Mine won't eat it. So now my kids, because I just make everything, they can tell the difference, even right down to the grandkids. My grandson, when he was 2, he loves my homemade bread. So when he comes over, first thing out of his mouth is, Gigi, do you have bread? And if I say yes, he says, well, can we have toast? Sure. But when he was 2, his mom gave him a sandwich and she bought bread at the store. He smells it and he goes, no, thank you, and hands it back to her. He wouldn't eat it.
I love it.
And she's like, calls me up and she's like, he says, no, thank you. Don't, oh my gosh.
He was okay with not having that one.
Yep.
So next question, what is your channel about?
Homemade food. Everything from scratch.
Okay.
And I try to stick to that as much as possible. Sometimes I'll do something, I'll go, I make almost everything from scratch. And
Right.
sometimes I
Right.
might use something that isn't quite, but it's probably not because I can't make it. It's probably just because I didn't.
Right. I noticed I really started out trying to make as much as I possibly can, because I'll tell you, one of the biggest benefits on this journey I've been on with YouTube is pushing myself to learn new skill sets. Okay. That's why I started Noodle November, was because I wanted to know how to make pasta from scratch, and I succeeded at it. Okay. But there's some things I'm not going to. You are not going to see me out there making puff pastry from scratch. I'm not. That's over involved for me. But that doesn't mean I won't try.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know.
I guess I'm kind of the same way, because I thought about doing puff pastry, and then I was like, let's see.
Right. But I do find, and it's why when I did this was before you invited me to Crocktober last year. I did a little series, and I think it was 6 or 7 different crockpot recipes, because I did have people that had reached out to me and said, I just want dump and go, and then I don't have to worry about it. And it's like, it's crockpot, it's dump and go. I mean, if you use a can of this, then use it. Or you can manipulate the recipe to make it fresh, scratch, homemade. But there is a quicker version or simpler version.
Yeah.
You can. So, okay. Can you tell us what milestones on YouTube have stood out the most for you?
My first 1,000.
1,000?
That was my biggest milestone, because you know how long it took me to get there? A long time. It was like 2 years.
Was
Yep.
it? Yep.
Yep. And
All right.
you get those watch hours.
Well, and that's always the struggle for new channels, is trying to get their watch hours. It is.
Yeah.
And I really don't care. I'm not offended by it, and some people are, and I get it, and I'm not arguing with anybody about it. But I really don't care that YouTube changes the goalpost per se. When I first started, it was 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subscribers. Well, you couldn't get a community tab until you had that 1,000.
Yep.
Then they changed it to 500, and then this, and then that, and it's like, that's frustrating to people that have worked their rear ends off to get where they're at.
Yeah.
And then somebody just started yesterday is so far better off than they were, So, okay, we move into, like I told you, what is the quick fire questions. Okay. So first one, what is your favorite color?
Orange.
Orange. And what is your least favorite color?
Blue.
Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is your favorite number?
13.
And your least favorite number?
That's an interesting one. I guess I've never looked at a number and go, I hate that number.
In any of these questions that I ask you, your favorite and your least favorite, it doesn't necessarily have to be one that you hate, but it could be one that you don't use or don't like as much as your favorite.
I guess I don't really have one.
Okay. So the standard answer I get on that one, not everybody, but it's been repeated a couple times, is 0. Because at 0, it's nothing. You're nothing. Not you, but a number representing something is 0. Yeah. It's nothing.
I guess that's true. I wouldn't like that if that were my bank account, right?
No, I'm with you on that. I get that. All right. What is your favorite season, time of year?
Fall.
And your least favorite time of year?
If I'm in the north, winter.
If you're in the north, but you're not. So not being in the north, what would be your
summer?
Summer. And that's probably because of the heat, I'm assuming.
Not really. I mean, it's not that I really dislike it, but I just really love holidays. I am all about holidays.
You are.
So in the fall, you've got, Halloween, which is my very favorite.
Yep.
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
You're kind of like me and my wife are. We like the gatherings. We like the putting things together for everybody to enjoy kind of thing.
Yes.
And I said this on Sunday, and I've told other people this. One of the first times I ever watched your channel, you were doing a Halloween thing, and I was like, this lady loves Halloween. That's obvious.
Mm-hmm. I love every holiday, but Halloween is my very, very favorite.
Okay.
I celebrate it from September to the end of October.
So you have a long fall, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I start putting my fall stuff up in August because I like it.
I can say you're the first person to have said that. So there you go.
I am definitely a holiday person.
What is your favorite TV show? Now, that may either be current or something from the past if you're not a big TV person now.
The show called From. I absolutely love it.
Hadn't heard that one. That's new for me.
It's a newer one, and it's supernatural. It's kind of scary. I love that show. I'm so addicted. I'm waiting for the next season.
And then what would your least favorite show be? TV show, sorry.
The Office. I know a lot of people love it. I can't get into it.
I can't either.
My kids love it, and they're like, it's so funny. And I'm like, this is just stupid.
I'm that person, the movie Dumb and Dumber. Everybody laughed and thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, this is retarded. I can't watch this. Okay. Anyways, I get what you're saying. All right. What is your favorite movie?
Oh. The Holiday.
Okay. And your least favorite movie?
This, what is it called? This Is the End, or The End of the World? I think it's called The End of the World.
End of the World?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
I looked at my husband and I go, I just wasted 2 hours of my life.
If you have an empty plate in front of you and somebody put your favorite dinner on that plate, what would that be?
Pot roast and mashed potatoes.
I didn't expect that. I really didn't.
Most people don't know that about me, but I love pot roast. That is my very favorite.
There you go. See, the whole point of these style of questions is maybe to learn something about you we don't know. So it worked out. What would be your least favorite dinner in the same situation? Empty plate, somebody put it on there. What would you not want to have there?
Salmon cakes.
Do you like salmon, though?
I love salmon, but I hate salmon patties.
Okay, fair enough. What is your favorite fruit?
Apples.
And what is your least favorite fruit?
Strawberries.
Ooh. Okay, what is your favorite vegetable?
A potato.
And then your least favorite?
Beets.
Yeah, beets and okra are not on my list, so.
I love okra. I just do not like beets.
Can't do it. Oh, okay. So here we go. Now we get to pick your brain a little. What is your favorite kitchen tool?
Oh, gosh.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
It's a difficult one. I'm going to say my KitchenAid, only because I use it every doggone day of my life.
All right. Fair enough. What would be your least favorite kitchen tool?
I don't have one. I use it. I love everything I have. And I never get rid of anything I have because I use it all.
I had Ryan from Heavenly Hills Homestead on the other week, and he said, well, actually, his favorite was the fly swatter. He lives on a farm, and yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going. I'm trying to remember what his least favorite was. Hand beater, I think, is what he said.
Oh, I don't even own one of those anymore.
Yeah, those are old school stuff. So, All right. What is your favorite, or was your favorite board game?
Oh, Trivial Pursuit, Guinness edition.
Down to the edition, even.
Yes. I found it at a garage sale and I bought it.
Well, that's cool. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
What about your least favorite board game?
I'd say Monopoly because it takes so long, but my husband loves it.
This is about you and your channel.
I know, but don't tell him that because then he'll think I don't want to play.
Okay. Okay, so a little different style of questions for the next 10. These ones are not what are your least favorite or your favorite. They're just straight on questions, okay?
Okay.
What is your favorite hobby?
Sewing.
Okay. And then what is your least favorite chore?
Least favorite chore?
Mm-hmm.
Laundry.
Okay. What is your favorite time of day?
Evening.
And then what is your favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Okay. So I'm going to hold off on there for a second. Do you want to talk about the other two channels while we're at it, or do you want to just stay with Scratchmade?
Oh, I'd love to talk about the other channels.
Okay. So one of the things I don't know if I know some people probably know it. I know it, but some may not know it. Jeni actually has 3 channels. So do you want to talk about the other 2?
Sure.
Okay.
I have a practical sewing channel where I try to make projects and turn them practical.
Mm-hmm.
And I plan on doing more things on that channel that are practical for household stuff.
Okay.
The third channel, not so well known because I don't really talk about it, is about the old house I lived in and our paranormal issue.
I was trying to figure out how you were gonna word that, but
I know.
I like it.
I had
It's
it
good.
all on my regular channel, but then a couple bigger channels were like, people are going to leave your channel over that. You better get that stuff off. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll take it off. But I did have a lot of people who said, oh, I came for the recipes, but I'm staying for your stories.
Right. And I'm finding there's kind of a transition. There's a lot of people looking for the stories nowadays, not necessarily real life stories. Yours would be based on what happened to you guys, but they're looking towards the mysteries and the thrillers and the suspense, kind of thing. So
yeah, someday I plan on turning it into a book.
And there you go.
It sounds so unbelievable that we wouldn't be somebody that told us that.
One of my favorite sayings is, you can't write a book on that stuff.
Yeah. Gosh.
Excuse me.
You have to be crazy to make that kind of stuff up, but
yeah. All right. So back into the questions. What would be your favorite actor? Who would be your favorite actor? And this is male only.
Okay. I just really love Josh Brolin.
Okay.
I have since the Goonies.
A Josh Brolin person.
Oh yeah, I have since the Goonies.
That's funny. Now I get it. Who is your favorite actress?
I don't know. I can't
answer that one for you. So.
I can't answer it. I don't know.
Okay. Excuse me. I did see Blue Self-Reliance has joined in with us. Good morning. She's in the UK. Okay. What is your favorite saying?
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I like that one.
Uh-huh. I really learned that meaning last year.
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to know more about what she's talking about, go check out her channel because there's some information on there. All right. What is your favorite song?
Let the bodies hit the floor. Okay, it might not be my favorite, but it's up there. I don't know.
And just in case anybody's wondering, Jeni is my resident metalhead. If I have any metal questions, her and Blue would get along just great because she is that way as well. So, all right. What is your favorite holiday? Not that you haven't answered this already, but
Halloween.
okay. And then if you had a chance, one that you've not read, what book would you love to sit down and read?
Oh gosh, a ton. I'd like to sit down and finish reading Hostage to the Devil.
Say that again.
I'd love to sit down and finish reading Hostage to the Devil.
Hostage. I didn't hear the first word.
Yeah. It is written by the head exorcist at the Vatican for many years.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to throw this out there just in case you didn't see that. Blue adores you just on the metalhead part alone.
Oh, thank you, Blue.
Okay, so now we move back into the favorite, least favorite thing. Okay. What was your favorite subject in high school? Or in school, not high school.
Oh,
sorry.
Science.
Okay. And then, did I just say least favorite or favorite?
You said favorite, I think.
Okay. What was your least favorite?
History.
Okay.
Or geography. Western world geography. I hated that class.
Nowadays, they call it humanities. It's got history, social studies, English, all of it wrapped into one now. So,
Wow.
All right. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
And then what would be your least favorite?
Pineapple.
That's an ongoing theme with that question right there.
It doesn't belong there. It's just a crazy thing.
I like it. It doesn't bug me, but I get people don't like it. So,
No way.
do you like pineapple in general, or is it just not on my pizza?
Yep, like it. I just don't want it on my pizza.
Okay. What is your favorite breakfast?
Eggs. Any way,
Just
shape, or
eggs?
form. Yeah, and I like them in all different forms.
Okay. And then what would be your least favorite breakfast?
Cold pizza. Sometimes I do it, but it's not my favorite.
I'll go with it. I'll write it down. Okay, this one, it might be from past, but who is or was your favorite cartoon character?
Oh, I used to love Mickey Mouse, of course.
All right. And then who would be your least favorite?
I don't know. I guess I haven't met a cartoon character I didn't like.
I love that.
The new cartoons, though, not as cool as the ones I used to watch.
They're so different nowadays, aren't they?
I hate the new Scooby-Doo.
I don't like it either. I'm like, what is that?
Mm-hmm. You look at it and you're like, that is not Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. My Scooby-Doo never said that.
My grandkids are like, yes, it is. It's Scooby-Doo. I'm like, no, this isn't.
If the name wasn't taken already, you could call it Scrappy-Doo, not Scooby-Doo. But
yeah.
All right. What is your favorite drink?
Like a
Non-specific. Whatever
alcohol.
you want to say whatever you want to say is your favorite drink.
Oh. I'd have to go with tea.
Tea. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is your least favorite drink?
Soda.
Okay. Just any in general. Doesn't matter what kind.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the thing I drink the least.
Yeah. Okay. This one stumps people a little bit, so I'm going to do a little explanation in it. What is your favorite moment in time? But I'm talking historically, not personally.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's going to sound like odd, and I generally do not like to discuss politics, but
Okay.
when I was a kid, my
Mm-hmm.
greatest fear in the 80s, being young, was getting bombed by Russia.
I
And,
get it though.
and when it was when Reagan kind of smoothed things over.
Mm-hmm.
That was for me like the greatest moment. It was the biggest relief
Well,
for me.
okay.
So I'm going to
Then
go ahead and say that for
okay. So it might be twofold because the next one is then what was your least favorite moment in time? So do you want to add something or is that the two of them put together?
maybe that's probably the two of them put together because that had the biggest impact on me, um,
Okay.
being a kid. And I wasn't, you know, obviously super young in the 80s, but it was during
Yep.
school periods. And I can remember coming home from school, reading the newspaper every day until my
Yep.
mom was finally like, no, because I
We're
was
done.
panicking. I'd work myself up
Yep.
into a horrible panic attack.
Yep. So a little older than both of us, but still understand it. Duck cover drills terrified her too, as well. So I
Yes.
get that.
Yeah.
All right. What sound annoys you the most?
Remember that Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
Just kidding. Not that I ever hear that. That would be annoying though.
Yes.
Oh, what annoys me the most though? An alarm clock.
Okay.
I hate that sound.
The standard old style alarm clock thing.
No, the one on my iPhone. Because then I had to get up for work, right? I no
That is so.
longer I no longer get up to an alarm clock, and I never want to ever again in my life.
Specifically speaking, your alarm clock you don't like the sound of.
An iPhone alarm.
An iPhone or alarm clock. Okay, I'll go with that. Then what is your least what sound annoys you the least? Now this is also confusing in the way it's termed, but it's something you don't care for, but it doesn't annoy you.
Timers on my
Okay.
kitchen stuff. Stephanie, I had to go through the same thing.
Oh, what did she say? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to do the same thing. That's part of the whole being terrified and throwing me
Yeah.
into a big panic attack. And I have
Yep.
had anxiety and panic disorder my entire life, and that's what started it.
Yep. There you go. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is your favorite restaurant, whether it's a big chain or not?
Papa Dough.
Papa, like D-O or D-O-G-H?
EUX.
Oh.
It is a Cajun seafood place.
Okay.
It's a Cajun
And
fish
then
house.
is that local to where you're at, or is that a bigger chain down south?
It's a chain. So it
Okay.
comes from obviously New Orleans. I think they have
Makes
one
sense.
in Texas also. There isn't very many of them, but I love it. It's my absolute favorite.
Okay. And then what would be your least favorite restaurant?
McDonald's.
Another common theme. All right. What is your favorite age so far?
32.
And then what would be your least favorite age so far?
50.
Okay. What is your favorite smell?
Cinnamon.
And then the ever so controversial question, what is your least favorite smell?
Garbage.
Okay. So you can understand why it's controversial because I do get some interesting
Oh,
answers.
I'm sure
on
you do. I didn't want to answer the obvious one.
Yeah, there people have answered the obvious. So,
But when
okay,
I
these
wake up in the morning, I can tell if my husband didn't take the garbage out the night before, and that will instantly make me go.
there you go. I get it.
He gets
I
a
get
call.
it. Why didn't you take the garbage out?
Yep.
Yep. All right. Little different style of questions here we move into now. Okay. If you could be a tree, what tree would you be and why?
I would be a pine tree.
Okay. And why?
Because you could get all dressed up for Christmas.
I like that. I'm writing answers down, and I've been asked actually, what are you doing with those?
Mm.
It's because the following week I ask a question for things that we do, so I want to make sure my answer matches your answer, so I know I'm giving the right answer if somebody answers it. So,
Okay.
all right. And the next one, if you could be a hot beverage, which would you be and why?
I would be a coffee, but with cinnamon and spice.
Okay.
And why? Because I'm spicy.
I wasn't going to say that, but I was going to say you probably because you love cinnamon.
My granddaughter tells me that all the time. It's because you're spicy, Gigi.
That's funny. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're winning some people over. This was on your pine tree comment. All right. If you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
A dog.
Okay.
And because they're man's best friend.
All right.
I know how much I love my dogs.
Fair enough. Here's the one that the girls typically don't like. If you could be an insect, which would it be and why?
A bee.
Okay. And the why?
Because my stings hurt.
Now, one other person has answered that question the same way you did, except theirs was because without me, nothing lives. But I like that. That was a good answer. Okay. So these ones are a little different even from these last four you just answered, but they're multiple choice nonetheless.
Okay.
Would your badge of honor have a lion, a tiger, an eagle, or an elephant on it?
Probably an eagle.
Okay. Is there a special reason as to why?
The talons, of course.
Okay. See, this side of you many may not have known about. You like inflicting pain. We get it.
I'm a Scorpio. There's another thing for you.
Okay. All right. Would your badge of success have the color blue, silver, gold, or green on it?
Gold.
Gold. And why would you say that?
Because I agree with you, Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Because gold, I feel like, is like, it's expensive and it kind of trumps all. I don't know.
Okay, that works. Next one is, would your badge of bravery have a knife, a sword, a crossbow, or a pair of fists on it?
Oh, gosh. Mine would probably have fists.
Okay. Next one, a badge of compassion, your badge of compassion. Would it have the symbol of love, empathy, care, or kindness on it?
Love.
Okay. All right. So now we move into the homesteading questions. Okay. Tiger 54 says mine would be a tiger because I can defend. I like that. All right. In your own words, what's your definition of a homesteader?
somebody who grows their own food, maybe raises their own meat.
Okay. What is the biggest challenge you've had with homesteading or your version of homesteading?
I am an urban homesteader because I am in the middle of a city. I don't have animals. I can't have chickens in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I would have chickens in my house, but you know what I mean.
I knew what you meant.
So eventually, yes, we will be moving.
But that limits what you can and can't do, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Being the urban environment.
Yes, but
Okay.
I can grow. I have gardens.
Right.
And my husband just decided we're going back to aquaponics, so he just got a new system. I've got to set it up. We used to do aquaponics, and it works great.
So, out of curiosity, what made you guys stop, if you don't mind me asking?
I was afraid that it was gonna attract mosquitoes, and my first granddaughter was being born, and so I made him get rid of it because I didn't want her to get bit.
No, I get it.
That is the only reason. And all this crap that has started now hadn't started 8 years ago.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What fruit or vegetable would you love to grow that you've not done so far?
I would love to grow rhubarb, and I have not grown that.
You come on up and I'll give you all you want. Rhubarb is kind of like zucchini up here. There's a never-ending supply until it's just gone, and once it's gone, it's gone. But all right. What animal would you like to raise the most if given the chance? And that means no limitation on space or where you're located or money or anything. If you had the chance. Goats.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask why?
Because I love them.
Okay.
Actually, I want to do my own goat milk, goat cheese, goat milk soap, goat product, goat milk lotion. I can't talk. I would like to.
It's okay. Go. We understood exactly what you said.
My mom lives across the street from a goat farm here in Arizona, but she lives north.
Oh, okay.
Up on a mountain. She goes out every day and feeds them her scraps. She keeps all of her apple peels and potato scraps and takes them to the goats.
And they love them, I'm sure.
They do. And in her city, animals are free to roam. So
okay.
Farmers will open up their gates and their animals just kind of roam the area. Sometimes my mom wakes up with a cow looking in her window. She loves it.
You gotta love that. Oh yeah, I'm sure she does.
Yeah. And when the goats come in the yard, they'll go drink all the water out of the bird bath always. So she has to go out there.
Here's a question I can't answer, and I'm not sure if you can. Does goat milk have a sour taste? Because I've had goat cheese like it, but I don't care for the goat milk.
No, I don't think the goat milk has a sour taste. Just the goat cheese is a little bit sour, but the goat milk isn't. Yeah.
Okay. What is one thing you want to accomplish on your homestead that you've not done thus far? Not something you've already answered.
Well, it's hard here in the city. There's not much I can do here.
And see, that's a hard question in your situation because everything's hard for you to do because of your limitations. So
yeah.
Okay.
We're looking, though. We will be moving to some place that has land.
Yeah.
My kids are making it difficult because my son and daughter-in-law homeschool. So they've looked at all the states and the homeschooling rules, and they've got a very tiny list of acceptable states, being Idaho, Arizona, and Indiana.
Really?
Yep.
So what's the limitation on that? Because we homeschool as well. And I'm in Washington, so.
My son looks at politics and, is the school going to make you do what they want you to do, or are you free to do your own? Because my son will not do what the state makes them do.
Right.
They have their own, here in Arizona, they have this school plan that they go by, and it's called Waldorf.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they want to do in other states. That's not acceptable.
Yeah, it's not here. So
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is we already answered that question. So to directly answer the question, relocate to a place where you would be able to actually homestead like you guys want to.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just writing this down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is one thing you've done homesteading that you regret doing?
Making a bunch of raised garden beds.
Oh, that didn't work out good for you?
No. Unfortunately, we paid for a truck to come and dump garden dirt. What they dumped was sand.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
that's
and
not good.
No, my husband's like, well, let's just fill them halfway up with sand because it's a filler, and then we'll put garden dirt at the top. Well, eventually it churns together and it killed all my plants.
Exactly. And it will kill it off eventually. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have, and this is a curiosity question because you're in a whole different environment than I am. You're in a more arid environment than I am. Do you guys have to amend your soil with a lot of things just to get it to do what you need it to do?
We can't just go out there and put stuff in the ground. It won't grow like that.
Right. Okay. Now I'm assuming, and please, I'm not being facetious about it when I say it this way. You're not going to go plant it in the sand. You're talking about actual dirt. If you were to get it, you can't just go plant in it. You have to amend it to make it growable, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to put a bunch of nutrients in it. And...
Right. Which unfortunately, and some people don't realize it, that portion of having to amend your soil is very expensive. It's not cheap to do, depending on how expansive your garden or growing area is.
And soil is super expensive here. So when I made the garden beds, my husband goes, how high do you want these? And I go, well, I'm not going to get on my knees because my knees are bad. So I had him do them a little bit taller, but that adds more money to putting in all that soil.
Right.
Lori
says that.
I do have some container, but I would be having a whole bunch of little buckets out there, which I don't think would be, not something I really want to do. So I really would like a garden bed and then a couple container plants, because I learned the hard way. You can't plant mint with everything else.
Yes. I can't get it to grow here, and I don't know if it was me or the seeds were bad or whatever it was, but I decided a long time ago those puppies are going in a bucket or a flower pot or something. I'm not letting those babies go.
Those babies will jump containers. They'll jump from their container into somebody else's container.
Yep. No, I've heard that before. And then there's a couple others that do the same thing. Is it tarragon that will bush up and it will grow out as
basil
well?
Does too.
Does it? Okay.
Oh yeah, my basil and mint were like in a fight.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So when we were doing aquaponics, my husband had taken one of those big blue barrels and cut it in half and put it up and filled it with water, and I had an herb garden in that one. Mm-hmm. And the mint and the basil took everything over, killed my rosemary, killed everything else. Wow. It grew like crazy in my aquaponics.
Wow.
We had tilapia in there in the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Lord Menet says my mother walks past my herbs and she kills them. I'm not even going to discuss that, but that's a good one. And then Blue said big logs at the bottom half fills the beds, perpetually feeds the beds too. So
if I had big logs, I'm right dead in the middle of Phoenix.
Yeah, you got sagebrush and mesquite trees. That's about all you got, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. If I want to go out into the desert.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah. When we were down there, my wife and I went down there in, what was that, 96 or 98 or something like that. I don't remember. But
wow.
We went to the Tonto National Forest.
Oh.
I was like, I'm from the state that has evergreen trees, and I'm like, it's just sagebrush. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. So I found it humorous. Sorry.
Yeah. You should have heard me laugh the first time I saw a deer in Arizona. Those things are so little. They're little tiny guys.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
They are the
wow.
littlest deer I've ever seen. They're like
Well,
dwarfs.
then I was introduced to the jackalope.
The jackalope. The
I'm
Arizona
laughing.
jackalope.
Yeah. It was a joke. Now, there's people that will argue with me that there are really jackalopes out there. Okay. This was a joke. This was not intended to be real. So
I can tell you what
anyway,
people think are a real jackalope, just because I'm a nurse and science minded. So there were rabbits that would get keratosis, and keratosis are like hard, skin, and they grow and they look like little horns.
Right. And they do. And that's what they're referring to. But it was more of a stuffed rabbit with antlers coming out of it. You know, I mean, and there's the jackalope, you know.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
What do you love about the community in which you feel you are a part of?
Well, I guess the only community I currently belong to is this neighborhood. I'm not in any.
I'm referring to YouTube community.
Oh, YouTube. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, ask me again because I forgot already what you said.
I'm going to put that word in there so I don't forget it. What do you love about the YouTube community in which you feel you are a part of?
Okay. I love that I've made new friends, such as yourself. And I do love all of my subscribers. I think they're an excellent community. For the most part, super supportive. And that is how I actually got through my surgery.
Right.
For the most part. I have family, obviously, but the comments and stuff were really inspiring.
And that does help, when you got somebody there encouraging you, and especially with what you went through. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think being part of the community, the YouTube community, is inspiring, and the friendships. And
I agree. All right. So we're at a point now where you've made it through the questions.
All right.
So I'm offering you the opportunity. Is there anything about you, your channel, anything that you want to discuss that we've not talked about yet?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything.
Okay.
Unless somebody else has a question. If anybody else has a question for me.
And we will let those, if somebody does have a question for Jeni, please put them in the chat. We'll go ahead and have her answer them. Before we do that, though, this is what we do at this portion of the game. It's not a game. I'm used to game night. Sorry. So last week we had Mike and Terry from MT Homestead on with us, and I'm going to ask 2 specific questions. Those questions being asked, if the person, whoever the person is that answers correctly first on the StreamYard side, not the YouTube side, because I'm looking at StreamYard, they will win the prize. And the prize tonight is kitchen canisters. They're 16 ounce and they have a nice lid on top as well. So that is your prize for tonight. Okay. And there will be 2 because we had 2 guests on, Terry and Mike. So my first question I'm going to ask is, and if you happen to watch this, you're more than welcome to jump into Jeni. If you didn't, that's fine too. What was Mike's least favorite chore? That's the first question. So you got 2 minutes starting now. And first person to answer gets it right. That's who wins. If we don't have anybody, then nobody wins that prize and we move on. I just seen something come up. Give me just a second here. And I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I'm just trying to look at something real quick. Oh, no. Hmm?
I'll make the boxes.
It's right outside.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and state it. It was just posted on White Rock's homepage. White Rock Homestead. They're one of the channels that does this Thursday night hangout with us. Tara, which is part of White Rock, her best friend's brother was murdered tonight, and they found out after the live show happened. So if everybody could please give them prayers and thoughts, I'm sure it would be greatly appreciated. So I'm not sure what the whole story is, but that's what's out on their community tab. So thank you, Xander, for telling me about that. Yeah, that's terrible. So all right, so you got about 20 seconds. So let's see. Nobody's giving me an answer. I don't know if that's because people don't remember or they weren't here to watch it. So I don't know. And so next week we'll do the same thing for your questions that you offered answers to.
Okay.
All right, guys. So your 2 minutes is up. Nobody answered it. And the answer to the question was he hated taking the trash out. That was his word, his not favorite chore. All right. So question number 2, same prize. 2 minutes on this one as well. What did Terry say her favorite breakfast was? So you got 2 minutes. Sorry, they're putting Halloween decorations up, so if you hear pounding, that's what it's from. Lori said, I was going to say that, dang. So is there anything else you want to throw out there before we end the night?
Me?
Yes.
Oh. I don't know. I don't have anything else.
Rena LaRue, you got to be more specific than that. Sorry.
That was my answer. And I wasn't specific.
Yeah, sausage and gravy and biscuits is not correct. I can tell you that. I think somebody hit their thumb.
Oh dear, it's bound to happen with that much hammering.
Oh, yes. The door got cracked open. He was like, the door opened. Ow, the door opened. Ow. Sunny side up is not the answer. You got about 20 seconds. Omelets is incorrect. Fried eggs is incorrect. I don't know why. I locked him out, and my son looked at me like, what are you doing? Okay, so none of the answers up so far are correct. So I'm here to tell you nobody won the prize. The very specific answer, boy, he's loud. The very specific answer was Eggs Benedict. That's her favorite breakfast. So
that's a good choice.
That is a good choice. Everybody tried. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nobody got it right. So we move on. So I want to thank everybody that came in to the chat. We appreciate it. Back to Good Homestead now says Eggs Benedict. So there you go. Somebody likes your fur baby.
Thanks. Me too.
Always appreciate you guys coming in. Jeni, thank you for coming in and doing this. I do appreciate it a lot.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Yep. And don't forget, everybody, Croctober is on right now. Jeni and I are co-hosting that together. You can find the playlist over on her channel. And on average, 2 videos a day are coming out. So please look for them. If you haven't seen them so far, you might want to take some time to, because there's a giveaway at the end. And I believe that's October 2nd, correct?
Yes, 3 giveaways.
3 giveaways, and that'll be based on all comments, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
unless you
everybody.
Need a really mean one, then your chances of winning.
Well, yeah, that's different altogether. Yeah. Annie Tam says, "Nice to meet you, Jeni."
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night, and we will see you next week. We'll be here to wrap up the Thursday night Homestead Hangout, and I haven't figured out who my guest is next week yet, so I need to start working on that. So, thank you, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and thank you for being in. Bye.
Bye. Night.